fuck that place.
Everyone says that.
I don't know where they found that little girl. Like, is it the son of the dude that played The Mask?
She's kind of fucked up looking, yeah.
Cher?
Rocky Dennis. Recording again for the podcast. Alright, so you can go ahead and move that over there. Alright. Kenny, what's going on?
Another beautiful day. How are you?
Good. Alright, so welcome to Sequel Podcast. I'm Matt Bonta.
Kenny Osgood.
Alright, awesome. Your first time on the podcast.
First time on any podcast.
And it's 220, I believe, is what this one will be. So, I mean, you probably listen. Do you know which number you listen to?
Yeah, 218, and then you had a new one coming, so this is 220.
Yeah. So, Paul was on. So, we can talk about, like, you've been in the movie. You were in Not in the Dark. How was that? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was fun.
Who'd you play in that movie?
I played Hanson. The first time acting in a movie. I mean, I had a good time.
And you were the bad guy in that, right?
The best guy.
When was the last time you watched that movie?
I watched it on YouTube. I want to say when you first put it out, and then the DVD's sitting right there, ready to pop it back in. I just haven't got around to it.
Well, but you listened to the Not in the Dark commentary that I just did.
Yeah.
So I re-rendered the movie because I fucked that up. It's been a fucked up version, so the DVD you got's fucked up, and the old version on YouTube's fucked up, but the new version's fixed, so it doesn't look funky, and it's getting like a lot of views.
Right on.
I posted it last Monday, and I think it's close to 700. Let me see. It's at 696.
Right on.
That's like up 50 views since I looked at it this morning.
Right on.
So it's when I looked at the analyticals on it, it looks like YouTube is putting it as a recommendation, like someone's watching something.
Right on.
It'll play next.
So you're making your way into the algorithm with it.
I guess.
That's
I don't
awesome.
know how that happened or why that happened, because none of my other videos are like that. But like, I mean, if somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna throw something on and like clean the house and it'll just play through, I think that's mostly probably what's happening. And it's also, I guess it's popping up when someone will open up YouTube and it'll have video recommendations.
Oh, right on.
There.
That's perfect.
So, like, this is the fastest growing YouTube video that I've got going on.
Right on.
So.
Yeah, I like to watch a lot of the shorts on YouTube, like the Amaletto, and there's a couple other ones.
Amaletto?
Yeah, they do like some sci-fi.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like a little production company. At least I think it's called Amaletto. But yeah, they just do like little short horror movies and sci-fi movies and stuff, and yeah, I could see it popping up and jumping into an algorithm with stuff like that.
Okay, so hopefully,
because it's more underground, kind of not big production company kind of thing. So
well, however it's getting out there and getting viewed, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
I know we played it in Vegas at that film festival in 2019. It's been a few years since we made this movie. So how was it being on that? So, like, I asked you to be in it, right? And then you were like, sure. How did that play out in your head?
Well, it always plays out a little better in the head than when you actually hit the ground.
Well, it's like, okay, so I'm like, okay, hey, you want to be in a movie? And then you're thinking, you got nothing better to do?
Well, no, I'm sure I had other stuff to do, but it sounded like fun. It's something I've always wanted to do. Like, I've always wanted to be a bad guy in a movie. I feel like if I were to do it again, I could do it a little better. Sure.
The same movie or a different movie? Like this one?
Either one.
Decker's kind of like the asshole bad guy.
I'm good with that. Ask the people I work with. It's me.
So did you read the script before saying yes? Or did you just say, like, sure, I'll give it a shot, and then I gave you the script?
No, I think you had run it by me, sent me the script. You said, read through it. If you want a part, go ahead and pick one.
Okay.
So I read through it. I was like, this handsome guy part sounds pretty cool. And you're like, great. That's what I had in mind.
Okay. That sounds about right. Pretty much that's how it goes. Is like, I'll think of somebody, I'll write them that part. Of course they're going to want it, right?
Right.
Because, like, I kind of write it to their sensibilities a little bit. Like Midnight Bloodshed, almost everybody that I wrote kind of parts for, or no, so what we did with Midnight Bloodshed was like I auditioned people. We did a bunch of Zoom calls, and people kind of zoomed in and they read like some of the sample lines.
All right.
And then when I chose everyone, I was just like, here's the script, read it, and let me know like who speaks to you, right? And pretty much everyone said the part that I wanted them to be.
Right on.
Have you watched Midnight Bloodshed yet?
No, I'm actually waiting for the Blu-ray.
Okay.
So I'll be watching this tonight.
Interesting. I hope you like it. Because you don't know anything about it, right? Other than what you did?
No, I think I read the script, so I've got a small idea about it. But I'm ready to go in and just... I like going in blind on some stuff.
I mean, and it's garnering, like, a lot of attention. It's won a couple awards already.
Right on.
So, like, I feel like we're in a good spot with this movie. I mean, it's not perfect, but I love it. And, you know, we put a lot of hard work into that movie, so... So, do you remember how it was being on set for Not in the Dark?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I remember it was cold a couple times. A little chilly.
What was your first day? Do you remember?
I think my first day was...
Probably up in the woods?
Yeah, it was the Mustang scene.
Right. When you get out of the trunk?
Yeah, that whole scene right there was the first day.
I've watched it a couple times recently, so it's pretty fresh in my mind.
Getting out of the trunk, throwing dude into the trunk.
That would have been later. That would have been a different day.
I think
that came near the end of our filming schedule.
Gotcha.
So,
So to answer your question, it's a blur.
No, so I'm pretty sure your first day was when we went up to the woods and you were in the trunk and you get out of the trunk. Right? We were up at Frenchman's.
Yeah.
And the girl's there looking, and you get out and you hit her on the head and knock her out. And then same day, my sister, who plays the other girl that you almost hit, and you convince her to get into the car with you, but you're like, hey, I don't have a phone, call me old fashioned.
I'm a nice guy.
Let me guess, you don't bite?
Yeah.
I think that was the same day, so that would have been your first day.
Gotcha, yeah.
And Connor was there, it was his Mustang, so he came up with the car, and you drove up in your car.
Yeah.
Because we used your car as the cop's car.
Yeah.
Do you still have that car?
No, I actually got rid of that. I got that truck out there now. Traded a straight 6 for a V8 again.
And then, I think, there you go again. And then your next day would have been, at the house, at my apartment.
It was either that or we were downtown. Because you needed the car to film... continuity for that cop scene.
Right. I think that was maybe your last day.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the next day would have been the day that I shot your stuff by yourself, because we had everyone there for the wedding scene, and you were working, so you couldn't make it. So I just cut your scenes in real quick.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And then I think it was either under the Keystone Bridge and at Idlewild, or either it was... when you come into the house with the girl and you and sister are talking. And I think that was it for your shit, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was like 4 days.
Yeah.
Easy stuff for like
peasy.
one of the main villains of that movie. And it goes that way sometimes where like you don't always have everybody. So like you kind of got to fit them in when you can. And sometimes like I'll rewrite. I'll be like, they weren't here this day. I'll take a look at the scene. Do we need you there for something? No? All right. You're good for that day. You don't have to come in. We'll shoot around you.
Yeah.
So it was a good experience. Oh, no, because we also... Your first day... This was what your first day was the flashback scene where you were dressed as a Civil War soldier.
Yeah.
That was your first day.
Swinging from the tree.
I think that was the first day altogether.
Gotcha.
Like, I think that was the very first thing I shot.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and then you did have another day. The very last... So you were there for the first day and the last day. The last day was where you, me, and Paul went up to the old Mervyn's. And we filmed inside there.
Yeah. Man, it all comes back now. Yeah, that one was actually really fun filming in there.
Just like fucking around.
Yeah.
I'm like, Kenny, run across and yell.
No, fucking run. Don't just walk.
Were you holding the light for that day? Like maybe when I was filming Paul, like kicking in the toilet stalls.
No, I think you had a light set up.
I had a light set up.
Yeah, I don't remember holding a light.
You remember what you were doing when I wasn't filming you? Just hanging out?
Yeah, hanging out, just watching as it went.
Okay. I'm surprised I didn't have you like holding, like making sure that the light didn't tip over. Because shit fucking falls.
Yeah, it's very possible though. I mean, I don't know. I smoke a lot of weed, man.
So overall, like, what are your thoughts on making Not in the Dark? I know it's like well past. We should have done this when we made it.
I thought it was fun. Like I had a good time doing it, and you ended up bringing up the whole Evil Dead remake and Evil Dead again, and why they did that, and I think somebody had brought up remaking or redoing Not in the Dark.
Oh, because I think Josh was talking about Evil Dead. Right?
Yeah.
And he was saying Evil Dead 2 was a remake, but really
it was right.
Just the front end of that, because they couldn't recut that footage from the first movie. And I don't know if I said it there, but like I was thinking like Not in the Dark, if we would have made that movie last year with the equipment and the resources we have now, would have been much smoother than like Midnight Bloodshed. Because I think Not in the Dark we filmed in like, a couple of months, maybe. And Midnight Bloodshed was like 5 months.
Yeah.
So it was like March until July. Like we were just like spread 30 days out over 5 months, and it sucked. But like I'm looking at Not in the Dark, and I'm like, we're in the woods like maybe a couple times.
Yeah.
Like that would have been fucking cake, last year when we were filming it. Instead of like Midnight Bloodshed was a bitch every single time we went up to Frenchman's. We filmed all that up in Frenchman's again.
Oh, really?
In that same spot, just a little bit further up, so we can set up the campsite. You'll see when you watch it.
Yeah, I'll see tonight.
I hope you like it. I really do.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I mean,
add that to the collection. Put
it
that
takes
on the
a lot
shelf.
to make me not like a movie.
Well, that's how we bonded and became friends. Is because you're a horror movie guy. So like you're a lifelong horror fan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think one of the first movies I watched as a kid that I really remember was Hellraiser 1 and 2. And then on that same recorded VHS tape.
Yeah, I also had a Hellraiser 1 and 2
and
tape.
I had Nightbreed on that motherfucker too.
Oh, so you probably saw Nightbreed long before I ever saw it.
Oh man, I was watching Nightbreed in elementary school. That movie, that was so good. And then just from there, it just grew. Like you're talking about, you go into the movie store as a kid, you just pick a movie off the shelf because the cover looked cool.
Right.
And
which is what
suck.
Not in the Dark is.
Yeah,
You're just quoting back.
Well, I'm just reiterating, yeah. But it's just, it's that's how you get into it.
Right.
I mean, it's...
Stumble upon a lot of shitty movies.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, as a kid and you're renting movies, they're not shitty, they're great.
Right, doesn't even matter.
You don't realize until later, it's like, wow, that movie really was kind of rough.
Have you ever seen... It's real bad. I've seen it since. A movie called Junior. So not Arnold Schwarzenegger's Junior.
No, I don't think I have.
It's... it's got a cover with a dude holding a chainsaw, right? And it's like, what is this knockoff bullshit? It's kind of like a mix between, like, Psycho.
All right.
And maybe Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which both those movies are based on Ed Gein. But there's, like, these two chicks that get out of, like, jail and, like, go out to the country where there's, like, a shitty... It's terrible. It's terrible. If you could find it, like, have a good time with that.
Oh, I'm sure I can find it. I'm sure I could get a hold of it.
Well, they've never officially put it out.
All right.
So I think I had to find like a bootleg, like VHS to computer copy or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they never officially put that one out, and I saw that one. Like, are you from around here? Born and raised in Reno?
No, actually, I was born in California, out in the Bay Area, and I moved here when I was... How old are you when you hit 6th grade? I moved here the summer before
10,
6th
11.
grade.
Okay.
And I've been here ever since, so...
Did you live out in Stead?
Lemon Valley Stead. Yeah, I've been in North Valleys the whole time.
All right, so what are the video stores you went to?
Oh, I remember we had... I think it was like a Maniac video.
I think there was a Hollywood video.
It was
somewhere.
Hollywood, but then there was something before that, and it was another one after that, out there in Lemon
up
Valley.
Here, instead, on Stead Boulevard, it was Star Video. Did you ever go to Star Video?
I do remember that one, yep. I think my favorite one was that little teeny place right by 7-Eleven in Lemon Valley.
Yeah, right up here. We're in Lemon Valley right now.
Oh, well, yeah, I keep thinking Stead. But yeah, it's...
that's Lemon Valley.
Yeah.
That Lemon Drive. Lemon Valley Drive or whatever it is.
So you know what
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was Bradley Video.
Bradley Video.
There was a Blockbuster there.
Mm-hmm. Out here in Golden Valley.
Winco had one inside Winco, if you remember that.
I didn't do that one.
Because I had like a grandmother in who lived in Sun Valley.
Gotcha.
And so they went to Winco and would rent stuff at that video store inside Winco.
Yeah, I never even knew that existed.
Maybe before it was Winco. Might have been Cubs then. All right. It was Cubs and then it was Winco. Mm-hmm. Do you remember Cubs?
I remember Cubs.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that good old that little ass fucking video store though.
Is it still there? Do you know?
I don't know.
I think last I heard, it was. Do you remember Jen Dorsa?
Yeah.
Pennies? I think she had told me one time, but that I haven't seen her in years, so that could have been
last time I saw her at On Track.
Oh, is she over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to edit out the place, but I saw her. I saw her recently. Talked to her.
And where do you work? Do you mind saying?
I actually work for.
I
work in the On Track building.
Okay.
So I'm contracted to.
So you've seen her in there while you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just work in the office again.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause she worked with us at Penny's.
Yeah. Well, that's why I recognize her. I'm like, weren't you at Penny's? She's like, yeah, fuck that place.
Everyone says that. Everyone currently there says that.
Yeah, so. Well, current, past.
It's a shit show for sure.
I believe it. It probably hasn't gotten any better either.
It's just gotten worse. It's
Yeah,
it's like
I've taken all the mechanics. They all work for me now.
So what else? What else you want to talk about? What's your top 10 horror movies?
Oh, right. Oh, got top 10 horror. Huh? Well, my
top 5.
Top 5. All right, so we've already discussed Hellraiser 1 and 2.
Right, you're a big Clive Barker fan.
Big time.
I know
okay, so
because I was wearing the Nightbreed sweater.
Yeah.
And that's how you started talking to me.
Yeah, with the neon colors. And,
Oh, yeah, that one. I was thinking the sweater. That was a t-shirt. The sweater I had was like a Hello Kitty.
Oh, yeah,
Hello Decker.
Yeah, it had button face on it.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't really have tops, but I can tell you some movies that I enjoyed a lot. I don't know if you've seen A Dark Song.
No.
That movie is phenomenal.
Dark Song.
A Dark Song. Yeah, it's basically about this lady who finds an occultist, black magic occultist, because she needs him to help her do this ritual so she can talk to her son. And that's basically where I'm going to leave that in case anybody wants to sit down and watch it.
It looks like it's on AMC Plus.
Yes. Phenomenal movie. I thought it was great. There's no huge production. There's no, big giant monster running around. It's just a real...
I like giant monsters, though.
I love giant monsters, too, but I also love a nice cerebral horror movie. It makes you think.
All right, check this out. I don't think we've talked about this. The Hellraiser remake.
Okay. What'd you think about it?
I didn't like it.
Why is that?
I felt it... I mean, I don't know. Like, it wasn't dirty enough.
Okay.
Like, it was too polished, too shiny. Like, most movies nowadays come out are nice and polished and shiny.
Mm-hmm.
And, like... I don't know. Like, I didn't really like... It felt like they didn't really have a grasp on the rules they were trying to make for the thing.
I got you.
Like, wasn't she able to kill, like, the Chatterer? The new Chatterer? Like...
She... Kind of, yeah.
It was something really weird, but, like... It's like... I don't know. I don't really like remakes. I mean, know, there can be a good one, but, like, I'd have to watch it again to go over the shit that I didn't like. But I know, like, I think what stuck out with me was when she killed the Chatterer. Didn't she kill him, like, stabbing him or something?
I'd have to watch that scene again, too.
Yeah,
I remember the scene and where it all takes place. I just can't remember the actual
felt
events.
like they were making rules up, but then they had to, like, break those rules to get to where they needed to go at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
and
I can see that.
It just wasn't dirty enough for me like the original one
was.
And not, like, dirty in, like
Frank Cotton doing drugs and just being this fucking sex addict.
Just like a gritty... It wasn't gritty enough. That's what I mean. It wasn't gritty enough.
Gotcha.
Like, that was, like, low budget. Clive Barker did whatever the fuck he wanted to. And, like, that felt like the world.
Yeah.
And then this felt like they're like, oh, well, we can do better. But you can't do better than the original.
No, definitely not. But my opinion on this movie, I thought it was great.
Okay, so you liked it.
I did. Because I didn't look at it as just this is the ninth Hellraiser movie. I looked at it as,
which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I can get behind that.
But like I was saying, Hellraiser 2 was my all-time favorite, just because they're like making the Cenobites and everything, and it gets more into the machination and like hell itself and what happens when you get there. And this one here, I thought it took that, like, creating the Cenobites and everything. I just thought it was clean the way they put it together. It totally changed the story, but I think that's what made the movie, because it wasn't you're playing with this box and now you are the one seeking the pleasure and the
maybe
box
I
gets
should
you.
watch it again.
Yeah, because I felt like, so with the original ones, Frank, he's all fucked up. He's just looking for this ultimate pleasure.
He's fucking jonesing for that fucking thing.
Yeah, because heroin's not doing it no more. Women's not doing it no more. So he's got this box, and he's doing it, and he gets it open, and we all know how that unfolds.
Right.
But now what if Frank was even more fucked up, and it wasn't him that he sacrificed? You know, what if he sacrificed other people, but he still got that ultimate pleasure?
Right, which is what the main guy's doing in that new one.
Yeah, and that's
the guy
what
who owns the box, or, or whatever.
Yeah, basically,
it's less of a box.
Yeah, it's
a little bit more abstract and just kind of changes into all different kinds of.
It kind of reminded me of that contraption from the old Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh yeah, where they're playing the keyboard and shit.
The lights and the music and shit. It kind of reminded me of that, except nobody got poked. But I thought the movie was good, just the way they took it for a different direction. And
maybe I'll watch it again and give it a second chance. I think maybe also I didn't like the actors in it as well.
That's possible.
But I mean, like, you know, I put a bunch of amateurs in my movies.
That's okay too.
So Midnight Bloodshed. That takes place after 8, by the way. You've seen all the Friday the 13th?
I have seen most of them, yes.
Okay, so takes place right after Takes Manhattan.
Okay.
In fact, you'll see, because I put some footage from Takes Manhattan in there.
Gotcha. I actually have watched Takes Manhattan.
Okay.
It was Jason Goes to Space or whatever that I couldn't really do much. No. I'm like, I don't like his mask.
Well, the great thing about Jason X is it came out when I was able to go to it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see it in theaters, but like it came out on DVD. Like Goes to Hell, like I was like a little kid when that came out. And you're probably a little bit younger than me too, right? How old are you?
86.
Yeah. Okay, so you're 1 year younger than me. I'm 85.
But I love Goes to Hell. I fucking love that one.
I hate Goes to Hell. That replaces 9, which is Goes to Hell.
Gotcha,
so Midnight Bloodshed, and then you can just scrap Goes to Hell all together. I hate Goes to Hell.
I think I like that one because
You're the worst.
That was the first one I saw.
Okay.
So that kind of put it into motion.
You know, that changes a lot. If it's like the first one you see, like 6 for me was like kind of like the first one I saw.
All right.
Where he comes back to life, and like that's like my number 1.
Gotcha.
That was the first one I saw. Another movie that sticks with me that people might not like, so this is in like my top 5, is Demon Knight.
Okay.
Tales from the Crypt. Because I saw that, like my aunt, who got me into all this shit, took me to go see that in theaters. So like it's a cherished nostalgic memory for me, but like it's not like a cherished movie, right? It's not a classic. It's like a shitty Tales from the Crypt movie.
Yeah, Billy Zane's okay, but
no, he's fantastic. Fuck you.
So remember how I was telling you I had Hellraiser 1, 2, and Nightbreed on that VHS?
Yeah.
Well, the 4th movie that I would put in, my mom got me Demon Knight.
Okay.
For Easter that year.
Okay.
So that was in my rotation.
There you go.
I love that movie.
Well, and you know, and Not in the Dark, I just remember this because I watched it again. When Sister comes into the garage, and I think she says something like, you know, hello party people. That's a line from Demon Knight when Thomas Hayden Church shows up. Like right after,
as soon as he gets into the
as soon as he gets into the hotel, he's like, you know, howdy party people.
Yeah,
that's because I love that movie, so I put that line. I'm always looking for new places to put like my favorite quotable lines.
Yeah, well, was that Billy Zane or was that Roach?
It was Roach.
Okay,
so Thomas Hayden Church as Roach.
Gotcha.
You know, hey there, you know, how's it going, party people? Hey there, party people. Whatever he says,
You're
like
burning my nipples off.
It was more like a tune-up. And
I love that movie.
All right, so what else is on your top 5?
My top 5. Let's see here.
We're probably gonna jump all over the place. I'm already getting other things to bring up.
That's all right. So let's see. We've gone through. shit, what's another one? Okay, so another movie. I like the movies that don't hit the blockbuster. I like those movies. You know, the budget's there. You know, everything looks good, but I like the movies that don't hit that
off the beaten path.
Yeah. So there's this movie. I cannot think of the name of it right this second, but I will. But it's Necromentia.
Never heard of it.
Write that one down too.
All right, I will add that to the list. Is it a newer movie, older movie?
I want to say it came out in 2009-ish, somewhere around there.
Let's see if it even comes up. Oh, here it is, 2009.
Oh man,
And
that was just a wild guess too. But
it's
that
not
movie
available on anything.
I thought was really good too. If you can ever get a chance to watch that one, I thought that was good.
It says it's on Redbox and Plex, whatever that is.
It'll be free somewhere eventually.
How did you see it?
Actually, do you remember Dusty Moore that worked at JCPenney's with us?
He's dead now, right?
Yeah, I've got his ashes in my closet.
Oh shit.
But he was a good friend. But he told me about that movie because me and him would go back and forth with movies, and he's the one who told me about that one. Like he told me about Pandorum. Oh man, that movie was so good.
That's another inspiration for like Unto the Breach.
Gotcha. So I don't know if we can consider that one a horror movie or maybe more sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you consider Event Horizon as, horror or sci-fi?
Well, I suppose it's a science fiction movie, but with a slant towards horror.
Gotcha. So I would probably say Pandora's close to the same, but that's another one of the tops too.
Well, Event Horizon is definitely like half and half. I don't know. Pandora,
I don't care what they consider.
Horror.
That movie was badass. You put Sam Neill in anything, and he's gonna make it awesome.
In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh yes, please.
Omen 3, which I haven't seen yet.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
He plays like the adult version of Damien.
All right.
It's on the list.
It's on my list now too.
All right. Well, so what about the Lord of Illusions?
Okay, Lord of Illusions I thought was good
to finish out that triumvirate of Clive Barker, Hellraiser, Nightbreed, Lord of Illusions.
Lord of Illusions I thought was good. It had a good story to it, and visually it was awesome. The blood, the gore, that was everything it needed.
But it just didn't get the audience, so Clive Barker's like, fuck this.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you seen Rawhead Rex?
Yes.
It's not his first time saying fuck this.
Well, no, but he didn't direct that.
I thought he did. He just didn't have any control over the creature.
No, he didn't direct it, which is why he directed Hellraiser.
Gotcha.
Is because, like, I'm not going to let someone else do this when I can do it. I didn't hate Rawhead Rex. I actually like Rawhead Rex.
No, I thought it was good too, but, like, watching it, I watched it a little older. If I would have caught it as a kid, it would have been great.
Probably.
But just seeing it now, I could see the mask and all that. I could just see through. I expect more when it comes for a Barker story.
They do shit in that movie that I wouldn't expect to be in that. Like when he pisses on the priest guy. Like that's in the story. Like they put that in the movie.
It's a necessity.
If they made that today, they probably wouldn't put that in the movie.
You're right.
Like if you watch like the It movies, the new ones, like all the shit they take out of those, like those are travesties compared to the book.
Yeah.
Even the original one.
Yeah, well, I heard even Stephen King was upset about that one.
Was he? He's in that. Did you watch both those?
Yeah,
he shows up in the second part as the shopkeeper.
Yeah, I don't think there's a Stephen King movie he hasn't done a cameo in, really. Even the new It.
Yeah, he's a shopkeeper in that. I mean, he's in some. He's not in all of them. Like, you know, sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not.
Gotcha. All right.
He's mostly in, like, the TV ones. Like, Langoliers, I know he's, like, in the imaginary Board Me. Have you seen Langoliers?
It's been a long time. Those TV movies, yeah, they go under my radar.
Did you watch the new Stand?
No, I didn't know they had a new one.
It's like a 10-episode series.
All right.
Yeah, limited series.
And where's that one on?
I think it's on Paramount Plus.
All right.
It was just for streaming. It's fantastic.
All right.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering it being good.
Well, it's all opinion based.
So, it is all opinion based. Gosh. Okay. All right. I like The Stand, the new one, right? But it's definitely updated, and it's definitely made like an updated, like how they do shows now.
All right.
So, like, it starts off, like, at the end, rather than how the book and the original start off at the beginning and you're just going linearly forward. The new one, they're already cleaning shit up. They've already starting to rebuild society. And then they kind of jump back and forth.
All right.
Which, like, when I started watching it, I'm like, oh, man, really? You're starting off at the end? The audience is already going to know?
A movie?
So it's not super linear, but, like, it's definitely watchable.
All right.
And the True Blood guy plays Randall Flagg. Alexander Skarsgård.
All right.
And he's a good Randall Flagg. What are the other characters? Who else is in that movie? Let me see. Are you a fan of The Stand?
Like I said, I've seen that one a long, long time ago. I didn't hate it.
Did you read the book? Are you one of those that feels like it's Stephen King's greatest everything?
I'll give you probably an unpopular opinion. I'm not the biggest Stephen King fan.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Blasphemy.
Unpopular opinion. I've got a lot of those, but to me, Stephen King just seems a little more kooky, goosebumpsy.
Adult version of that.
Yeah, young adult version of that.
No. Those are adult books for adults.
But I mean, I don't discredit him whatsoever. He's just not my cup of tea.
So, do you have a favorite Stephen King?
Do I have a favorite Stephen King?
I've been going on about Stephen King. You dropped this bomb.
Yeah, does Creepshow count?
Sure.
Fucking
absolutely. So Creepshow's
love
Did you watch the show?
I did watch the show.
Okay. And it's still going, so.
Oh, is it still going?
I believe so.
I thought they stopped after like 2 seasons or something.
No, there's a third season, and I'm pretty sure it's still going.
It's on AMC or Shudder?
AMC.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Gotcha.
Shudder, AMC owns Shudder. So, like, if you just subscribe to Shudder, you can cancel that and just subscribe to AMC, and you'll get all of the Shudder shit and the AMC shit.
Gotcha. That sounds like a better deal than having both of them.
Absolutely, yeah. So cancel your Shudder subscription and just get AMC Plus.
Deal.
And then you'll get like all the Breaking Bad and
Gotcha. But yeah, I did like the TV show because to me, I can do it in 45-minute hour spurt, but when you
get 2 episodes in that 45-minute hour spurt,
right?
2 stories,
and then you get 4 hours of it in a Stephen King movie. Me personally, I just I need more substance, less talk.
Okay, all right. Well, what else you got on your? Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
absolutely. And you're not wrong because. I don't know, like, I can't think of what I'm thinking of, but, like, I feel like sometimes movies today are just way too fucking long. Like, I won't go see Avatar. It's like 3 hours. Fuck that. Wakanda Forever is, like, practically 3 hours.
Jeez.
Like, you gotta kill your whole day to figure out going to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, yeah, let's just, like, horror movies should not be beyond an hour and a half. Horror movies and comedies. That's my stance.
That sounds fair.
Like, meanwhile, Midnight Bloodshed's $1.45, but, like, there's something else going on with Midnight Bloodshed. So there's, like, a whole half an hour in the front of that movie that, like, takes place in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if I cut that half hour, we can get, like, a clean, quick Midnight Bloodshed.
Gotcha. But in contrast, though, you got to have it sometimes. You got to have that extra bit in there.
Well, they say, like, a good movie isn't long enough and a bad movie isn't short enough. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, if it's great, you'd sit there all day and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I feel like a horror movie, you need to get in, you need to get out. And same with a comedy. Like,
yeah.
If you're sitting there for the 2-hour movie on a comedy, like all of Judd Apatow's stuff, like Knocked Up and Funny People.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I could stand it with 40-Year-Old Virgin, but those other two, like, they get way too drama. Like, the longer they go, like Not Knocked Up, but Funny People, super dramatic shit going on in there.
Yeah, those movies, they seem like they start out real funny. They're like, all right, cool, it's going to be a great movie. And then halfway into it, you're like, all right, where's the funny? I've already invested this much time into the movie. I have to fucking finish it.
Right, and now it's like, oh, this dude isn't dying of cancer, and he's a super fucking asshole, and it's ruining this marriage that he's not really even into anymore, only because he was dying. You've seen it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so... All right, so what else do you got for me that you like?
That I like?
That you would throw into, like, a pile of movies if you just grabbed them. So you don't have to like the best of the best, but some
movies that I really enjoy. Well, I really did enjoy the Pet Sematary remake. Another unpopular opinion. I'm
shaking my head over it.
I'm so full of unpopular opinions. People hate. People hate it.
Man, no, I hated that one too. Because they kill the older child instead of the younger child, which is more fucked up. But both to kill it and bring it back.
Right. And it's the main protagonist the whole time. It wasn't the mom, it was the little girl.
Yeah, no, they... all right, go on. Move on. What else? Skip that one.
All right. Put me on the spot now. I don't have my clicker to go through. Oh,
I hear you. It's really hard to be put on the spot when people ask you that. You're like, oh, I make movies. I love movies. Well, what's your favorite one? It's like, well, it's not just one. It's whatever mood I'm in.
I can go into the older, the more cliche, like The Thing is fucking great.
Things like number one.
Yeah.
Thing is obviously always the top of my list. Number two, The Ring, the American version.
Okay, all right.
Because I know when I watched that, I wasn't expecting what I got, like the way they look when they're dead. Mm-hmm. Not so much like the Samara coming out of the TV and shit, but just like, you know, you've seen it, right?
Yeah. I'm waiting. I'm just trying to think, like the reality of the death.
Yeah, well, like it's fucked up because you got the two girls, they're talking, they're having fun. Mm-hmm. It's such a great setup, right? Yeah. Because unless you've seen the original Japanese one, which I hadn't at the time.
I still haven't.
I hear it's good. I've got a copy of it that I can't watch on my Blu-ray player because it's like a Region 2 or whatever.
Gotcha.
I can probably put it on the computer and watch it. But they're talking about this thing, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, this is fucked up, right? Like people do, like doing Bloody Mary or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they're all joking about it, you know, and then the phone rings, right? And you think, okay, 7 days, that's such an arbitrary number. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck? The whole 7 days thing and how to get out of it, like, is stupid. I hate that. Mm-hmm. But the sets a mood. Gore Verbinski, the director, sets a fucking mood, right? Mm-hmm. And they get killed, right? Right at the end of that opening sequence. And then you get Naomi Watts investigating it. And then they cut to her dead in the closet, all fucked up looking, real quick. Like, what the fuck was that?
some more of that subliminal stuff, huh?
Well, yeah, you just don't expect to see that. They're just talking about it, and they talk about, like, I don't know, finding her, and then it's just like a Family Guy cutaway to something fucked up.
And doesn't it just show her all grotesque and open mouth and everything?
Open mouth, and then I think her, like... I don't know if it's in this or if it's in like one of the special features, but then like her head like kind of falls forward a little bit.
All right.
And it's just, you know, it's just a movie, right?
Yeah. I mean, afterwards, but as you're watching it, you're there.
Yeah, as you're watching it, I was probably like that came out my senior year. I think I maybe saw it later on the same year, but like it was fucked up and it affected me so much so that I put it in like my top 3.
There you go.
3 being like Demon Knight. Mm-hmm. You know, and then the rest are probably like Texas Chainsaw is great. I really like Psycho a lot, the original Psycho.
Just basically the regulars, the champions.
The champion, Exorcist, Poltergeist, those are fantastic movies.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare probably doesn't hit my top 10, I don't think, but maybe top 20.
All right.
Like, but even like Friday the 13th probably doesn't hit my top 10. Halloween would. I love the original Halloween.
But don't ask for my unpopular opinion about John Carpenter and Halloween.
You don't like Halloween? No, that's what we're here. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about the very last Halloween that came out. That's exactly why I didn't like the Halloween movies.
I liked that last Halloween movie a lot. I know, but you and everyone else hated it. So it's not. So you're talking about Halloween Ends, right?
Yeah.
I loved that. And you know what I loved about that?
Tell me.
Is that... that I started watching it, right? And it's like, okay, so this kid gets killed by accident and this other kid's like kind of suffering from it, like the trauma of accidentally having killed somebody. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, well, where's Michael Myers, right? It's like watching Halloween 3 for the first time as a kid. All right. Which I love now. I love Halloween 3 now, right? No Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. But then I'm watching it and I'm like, yes.
That was the Witch, Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch.
Yep.
Which is a fucked up movie. Did you like that one?
I thought it was good.
Like, he's like, they put the masks on a kid, and like the bugs and shit eat his face off and come out of the mask, and then they put him in like a chair and strap him down and put a mask on him. It's great visuals. Yeah, great visuals. But the new Halloween, Like, Michael Myers is barely even in it. And then he goes on, like, a killing spree with this kid as his protege, like, at the end of the movie. Like, you're not expecting that.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what I loved about it. Like, I hated it watching it, right?
Yeah.
But then I got into the idea, which is what I like to do when I watch movies anyways.
All right.
Right? So if I'm going to watch a horror movie, I'm going to go in wanting to be scared, right?
Gotcha.
I might not actually be scared, but
you're
that's
gonna
what they're trying to do.
Put yourself in that frame of mind.
Right. Or, even if, like, it's like a comedy, I want to laugh.
Yeah,
if it's
you
a drama,
want to enjoy
I
the
want to
movie.
be invested in the emotion that's going on. Or like a romance movie, right? Romance movies can be good too, right? A good movie's a good movie.
Right.
So I'm going in to get what I think the filmmakers are trying to sell to me.
All right.
So I'm like, there's no Michael Myers. But by the end of it, I was so down with the idea that there was no Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And I know everyone hated it. But I have a theory for that. Because John Carpenter, he made Halloween 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did 3. And he was going to come back for 4. And he was like, I have this idea about Michael Myers not really being in it, but kind of like his presence is felt over the town, which is what this last one felt like. And I don't think anyone's ever put the connection together that that's what his original number 4 was going to be.
All right.
But they were like, no, fuck that. We don't need you then. Let's bring Michael Myers back.
Yeah, we're going to have to explain too much. Let's just go back to the killing.
Even though, at the end of 2, Dr. Loomis shoots his eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the opening shot of Michael Myers in 4 is him opening his eyes.
So that's probably why I'm not the biggest Michael Myers fan. Is number one, where's my substance? Where am I working from? Like, where is this guy coming from? How am I supposed to look at this guy? Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, he's just a psychopath at this point.
Mindless killer.
But he can't fucking die.
Yeah, well, okay.
That's where I need my substance.
It's like years later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Years later from Halloween Kills. But, like, was he eating homeless people? Like, he's wearing the mask, the same outfit that he has at the end from years later, but, like, it's clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, how was he sustaining himself if he lived in the sewers? Was he eating those homeless guys?
So many questions.
There are a lot of bad questions, but I looked past those so that I could enjoy this movie that everyone else hated.
Well, I think that's another reason why, if you love Halloween, that's why you love it. It's because everybody else fucking hates it.
I guess.
I think that's just another little...
But I hate Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2.
Okay.
I hate those movies. In fact, I don't think Rob Zombie's made a good movie since Devil's Rejects.
I'm going to have to agree with you there.
Okay.
I definitely agree. Did he ever come out with the Blob or no?
I didn't see a Blob.
No, he was supposed to make that.
Monsters.
Yeah, which wasn't that great.
No. No, it wasn't. I was looking forward to it, but like now.
No, Sherry Moon Zombie.
Stick
No,
to
okay,
music.
hold on.
Yes, no.
31 was fucking great. Have you seen 31?
I've seen 31, and I like the idea more. I had this idea about writing a movie and calling it 31-2.
Okay.
I mean, going off on the number scheme, right? It's 31 because it's like Halloween and shit like that.
Just call it December 1st.
But then you add a 2 to it, and you're looking at it as like, is it 312? What is that a space between 1 and 2? There's something going on behind me.
Oh, it's just a bunch of cars and
truck.
shit going by.
I see like the reflection. Like, is a truck stopping
Yeah,
in front?
there's been like 4 of them. You got something going on at the end of the street.
Oh, maybe they're doing something.
Some construction or some shit.
But yeah, I was just thinking 31-2. Like, what does that even mean? Just the visual of the title. But it would be like take place now instead of in the 70s.
Gotcha.
But you like 31?
I thought 31 was awesome because it was just, now we're going to take all these serial killers and see if you can fucking live.
That's probably his third best movie then.
Yeah.
I think there's a big gap between that and Devil's Rejects. But...
Well, the way he approached Devil's Rejects was like amateur filmmaker, but not too amateur. Like, I thought that was so good.
Did you watch 3 from Hell?
3 from Hell? Which one was that?
That's the sequel to Devil's Rejects.
Yes, I have.
And I thought that was garbage. It's like, basically, it's the same movie.
Yeah.
They're on the run. They go and hide out in a place. A bunch of people show up to kill them. I thought that movie was garbage.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't as good as the first two, but Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses,
Perfect.
amazing.
Perfect.
That's exactly what you would expect coming from Rob Zombie.
Yes.
And then this...
Then he did Lords of Salem?
I couldn't get through Lords of Salem.
Oh, no, he did Halloween 1 and 2 then. And then he did Lords of Salem.
Was that how it went?
Yeah.
And then 31 came right after that.
31 came right after that, and then Munsters, and then he had the cartoon in there as well.
Oh, El Super Beasto.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Have you seen him live?
No, I haven't.
He was at Aftershock last year. We went to Aftershock. And he doesn't really sing.
Really?
Yeah. Like, you can get his album, and you can like his music. Do you like his music?
I do.
But then, like, he's up there. He's mostly just talking to everybody. Like, hell yeah.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, no, he really doesn't perform his songs.
I don't feel bad about missing his shows ever now.
Yeah, like, that's my opinion from one concert, right? And it was Aftershock. It was a music festival.
Still, at a festival, you bring your A game.
You would think that. Like, he's got the music videos playing behind, and he's just kind of dancing around, walking around, yelling at people.
Yeah, you know the song, just sing it in your head.
No, that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did, and I was like, okay, I get it.
That's a disappointment.
I also hear that, like, they don't like touring with him. Like, other bands don't like touring with.
That's what I've
Zombie.
heard. There's this channel on YouTube I like to watch or listen to. I can't remember the name of it, but they just talk about the bad shit in music. Mm-hmm. Like, why people hate touring with Rob Zombie, or, like, what happened to Matchbox 20 and shit. But a lot of it's really neat. And the why people hate touring with Rob Zombie is on my list for tomorrow. But I understand he's just an arrogant asshole.
I hear he's also like a perfectionist, and he's like really tight about what you can and can't do when on tour with him.
Well, you heard about the whole thing between him and Marilyn Manson.
No, I saw that. Like an article popped up and never got to click on it.
Yeah.
But what happened there?
Well, basically, they're on tour together, and I think it was Rob Zombie opening for Manson, or vice versa.
I think Manson opened for Rob Zombie.
But either way, like, those are two egos that clash, and you can't have...
But they went on tour twice with that same tour.
Did they?
Yeah. Fuck. They did one, and then they did it again. Yeah, like Faces of Evil or something.
They were about to fight backstage. I guess they're calling each other out on stage. Like, fuck this guy. He's a fucking piece of shit.
They must have looked at the paychecks.
Probably.
The money that was coming in. It's like, well, fuck it. I'll deal.
Right? But I think that's just how it goes with big-time musicians, man. You can't put them all together, and then you can only fit so many heads in a room.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. For sure. All right, so what else we got?
What do you want? What do we got?
Okay, so out of the slashers, like Jason, Freddy, Michael, Leatherface, Chucky.
Okay.
What's your Mount Rushmore?
My Mount Rushmore? I fucking love Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, Leatherface at the top of the list.
Leatherface at the top of the list. And then we can go down to Chucky for the first two.
Okay, put him at the bottom.
Right under Texas Chainsaw.
Right under Texas Chainsaw. Yeah. Okay.
Because that actually has some serious substance in it. Like, it explains everything. Like, this dude's a fucking maniac. Yep. He knows this fucking ritual. He needs a new fucking body. He's just going to keep on running. I thought it was great. But as far as slashers go, like, I hated Scream.
Okay.
And that's just kind of how I feel slashers are. It's just running around in circles and not doing what you really should be doing in that situation just to create a movie. But Psycho was good. I like Psycho.
So Norman Bates.
Norman Bates was okay. And then I
do you hate Jason? Because you just were in a Jason movie.
I don't hate Jason.
Okay.
I don't hate Jason.
Okay.
Because, like, there's the substance there. Like, he is a fucking goddamn evil corpse zombie thing. Eventually, but that's there. But what the fuck is Michael Myers still? I'm still trying to figure that out. That's my separation between that. But slashers on my horror list, they're it's a little lower. Just for the whole
right. So you want like
I like monsters. Creepy, I like blood. I like
witchcrafty stuff.
Witchcrafty stuff. If you ever get a chance to get down and watch a dark song.
I'll definitely watch that for sure.
That one's really good. I'm like in the middle of writing my own little story, kind of with that flavor.
Oh yeah, weren't you telling me about something?
Yeah, I've got about
time you came over.
half of a something going so far.
Okay,
but I've got a 19-month-old, and He's gonna be 16 next month, so my hands are
You got
full.
a 16-year-old?
Dude, he just went to prom on Saturday.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You're younger than me. I guess, I mean, we're pushing 40, huh?
Yeah,
It blows my mind every time I think about that. I try not to think about it. Fuck, it sucks
Yeah.
getting old, dude.
It's all good until your kid comes up, it's like, hey, Dad, I need a tux for prom. Fuck. Is it really that time? But, so yeah, I've got a little story I've been putting together for a while. But, you know, talking to me about movies, I'm nitpicky. Mm-hmm. I like substance. I like background. I like everything to kind of come together.
Well, let's talk some new horror movies then.
All right.
So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Did you watch the Netflix one?
No, I haven't.
It's garbage.
Works for me.
It's fucking garbage.
Yeah, I think the last Texas Chainsaw Massacre I watched... Fuck, I can't remember the title of that one.
Well, look, you've got 1, classic. Mm-hmm. 2 is classic. 3...
Kooky.
You got Viggo Mortensen in there. Mm-hmm. Like,
he's scratching his fucking dome with the hanger.
Oh,
is that 2? Gotcha.
4, you got Matthew McConaughey, Renee Zellweger.
Okay, yeah.
Renee Zellweger. The movie sucks, but, like, I will watch that to see Matthew McConaughey being fucking batshit crazy.
Just watching him act.
And then after that, you've got the remake, which is okay.
Okay.
And then the prequel to the remake, which I love.
I think it was the prequel that I watched, that I remember watching in the theaters, but where dude pulls the baby out of the woman and smashes it.
Oh.
That's like the...
No, that sounds like Human Centipede 2
No,
to me.
no, it was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I haven't thought about that one in a while.
No, the prequel opens up at the slaughterhouse.
That's the one.
But she has the baby.
Mm-hmm.
But then Leatherface's mom takes the baby.
Right.
The lady is working at the slaughterhouse. She has the baby, and I think she throws it in the dumpster. And then Leatherface's mom takes the baby, and they raise the baby.
I'll have to watch it again.
Oh, no, that's Leatherface.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what that is the woman has the baby and dumps it, and then Leatherface's mom, right, takes it and raises it as Leatherface.
Gotcha.
And he's got like a weird skin disease or whatever, so he's wearing like a leather mask.
Yeah.
An actual like leather face covering.
Yeah, he looked like Kane.
He did look kind of like Kane, absolutely. And then he kills his boss at the warehouse.
Yeah.
And then like the sheriff shows up. He's like, "Hey, I'm leaving town." So his brother Arlie Ermey kills him and becomes the sheriff. That's the one that's got the biker dude. Yeah,
that's where he's got the dead chick in the back of the fucking car the whole time. The sheriff, Army Ernie.
Does he?
I thought he did. I'm definitely gonna have to get back and watch him because I swear I remember Leatherface ripping that baby out.
I don't remember that at all, but the prequel I really, really liked. It's very brutal, balls to the wall violence, front to back, like doesn't give a fuck, right?
And that's the one where they dude goes in the house and I think it's the chick finds him hanging up on a fucking hook and he's got salt wrapped around his amputated knees.
That I think is just the remake, not the prequel.
Okay.
Maybe. But maybe not.
They're all moving together right now.
Those two are really close, but I think the prequel edges out the remake.
Gotcha.
And then after that, they did like a direct-to-video one called Leatherface. Mm-hmm. Garbage.
That's the one we can get on Netflix or streaming right now.
It might be on that, yeah, but it's fucking garbage. Did you watch that one?
No. I remember I looked at the cover of it. And it's just Leatherface standing in a grass field?
It's a woman. That's the Netflix one.
Okay.
That's what you're talking about. No, this one was like direct-to-video, strictly direct-to-video. It's got like the picture of like a woman from the waist down just standing there. I don't know why. Right. But they're trying to be like, oh, here's Leatherface. He's an 18-year-old guy. And he's in an insane asylum. And then he escapes. But, like, you think it's this big kid that's not talking, but then he gets killed by the cop, and you find out that the other kid that's been talking the whole time, that's like a lead actor dude.
All right.
Is actually turns out to be... It's garbage.
Perfect.
Garbage. So fuck that movie. Oh, no, there's another one. Before that one was the Texas Chainsaw 3D. So
Didn't watch that one.
It's not Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's Texas Chainsaw 3D. That one's garbage also.
All right.
But I liked, like, when I watched it and I hated it, I was like, I got a good idea for a sequel to this one that would be kind of like Godfather 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because the chick in that is, like, his cousin.
Okay.
And, like, she kind of gets into it at the end because it's almost like an anti-hero Leatherface because the cops and the mayor and shit are corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to kill them by the end.
All right.
And I was like, it would be cool to do a sequel to that where it kind of goes back and forth and you get, like, the history of Leatherface coming up and the family.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll cut back to what's going on in the current time with that chick and Leatherface being cousins and shit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, I mean, the movie sucks, though.
Yeah.
And then the new Netflix one fucking is garbage.
Netflix is really hit and miss, and especially when it comes to the horror movies, they seem too bland anymore.
Well, The Witch. Did you watch The Witch?
Which, with,
It's got Anya Taylor-Joy in it. Nothing happens in that fucking movie.
Were they talking to Black Joseph or something, the goat?
Yeah, they talk to the goat.
Yeah.
But, like, nothing happens until, like, the last minute of that movie.
No,
I was hoping this was going to be good. Like, I'm at work all day. You know what? I'm going to go home and watch The Witch. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it all looked good. It's all dark, and it got you thinking that everything's going to be super evil. And
then it was... Like, nothing happened.
It was a fucking farm.
I'm tired of nothing happening in horror movies as well.
Uh-huh.
The new Blair Witch was garbage.
See, I thought the first two were good.
A Blair Witch.
Yeah, because the first one I thought was great. And then the second one came around, it didn't have the shaky video and everything.
It's like a half and half.
Was it a half and half?
Well, because it's like a regular movie, and then at the end, they wake up the next day, and they're like, what happened? And then they got video footage of what they did the night before.
Gotcha.
So it's a little bit at the end they show, like...
But I thought those were good.
That second one is, like, garbage, but it's one that I love because it's so goofy.
Uh-huh.
Like, the dude in that movie, the main guy, is fucking goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right at the beginning. It sets a nice mood if you just kind of want a weird, goofy thing.
I'm good with that. But I thought that was cool. I don't think I've seen the new one, though.
It's probably about 7, 8 years old now.
That's new enough compared to Blair Witch.
Well, they were calling it, like, The Woods or something like that. And you're like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And then when it actually came out, they're like, oh, no, we're kidding. It's Blair Witch. And it's like, oh, you guys remade Blair Witch. But then you watch it, and it's like, oh, no. It's a prequel to the first one. But it was garbage.
I think I might have actually seen that one where they're talking about, like, some dude fucking kidnapping the kids and shit.
Maybe.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Didn't stick. That's how bad it was. You got Hereditary.
Hereditary was cool.
It's okay.
I thought that like runs a cult big time. I thought it was really cool. Like the whole Pio-Mon, I think it was.
I don't remember.
Oh man, there's a whole lore behind that movie.
Okay.
It's actually really good.
I thought it was fucked up when the little girl sticks her head out the window.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
And the kid just goes home and he just goes and lays down, like leaves the body, doesn't wake up the parents.
I want to know where they found that little girl. Like, is it the son of the dude that played The Mask?
He's kind of fucked up looking, yeah.
Cher?
Rocky Dennis. Yeah, no, like, you know, she looked how they needed her to look in the movie.
Yeah, basically. Better without the head.
And and then they just show the head there with, like, bugs and shit on it. Like, that was fucked up.
Doesn't it keep popping up a couple times?
Oh, maybe. That was another one of those ones where it's like, this movie is too long for a horror movie.
Yeah.
And then that guy went and he made Midsommar. Did you watch Midsommar?
No, I haven't. I heard that was just like The Wicker Man, though.
It's The Wicker Man meets Hostel.
Okay.
It's Wicker Man for the Hostel generation.
All right.
Because it's a group of kids going out, you know, summer break, spring break, whatever. We're going to have fun. We're going to, you know, do a bunch of drugs. We're going to get fucked up and do some crazy shit.
All right. I'll have to check it out then.
It's also another really long one. That guy makes the slow burn movies. That's got a fucked up beginning.
But though, like, what were we just now talking about? Fucking, I like the cerebral kind of movies, though.
You would probably like, yeah, if you liked Hereditary, you'll definitely like this one. I think it's good, but it's it's long, and they put out like a director's cut that's like
Really?
3.5, something like that.
Yeah, to watch something, you'd have to really get into it.
But
like,
I mean,
really
it's
dive into
really
the...
well made, though. Really well made, and it's Wicker Man, 100% Wicker Man.
It's everywhere. Everybody talks about it. I just haven't gotten down because I've seen the Wicker Man.
You've seen the Wicker Man.
Yeah.
Probably seen Nicolas Cage in the Wicker Man.
I've seen Nicolas Cage in so many things.
Running around in a bear suit, allergic to bees.
What do you think of Nicolas Cage's new movies?
I think his new movie. I think like he's got great starting career. There's a slump, and then he starts coming back, like with Mandy, Mom and Dad.
I haven't seen Mom and Dad, but I loved Mandy.
What's the
Wally's or whatever?
Yeah,
Wally's Wonderland.
Wally's Wonderland.
That was
Five
cool.
Nights at Freddy's
I thought
movie.
that was so cool. It just how he played in that movie.
I think
doesn't give a fuck.
I think he's coming back. Renfield comes out this week.
That'll be great. That'll be great. I got a feeling that one's gonna be kooky, kind of funny.
Absolutely.
But there was one Pig.
Pig too.
Pig was good.
I thought Pig. I think I was a little disappointed with Pig.
I was expecting a horror movie.
Yes. Or like a balls to the wall revenge movie.
Yeah.
But I think the problem with Pig is it's a post John Wick.
Okay. All right.
World where his dog is killed and he goes on a revenge.
I can see that.
Where Pig, like they steal his pig. Do they kill his pig? I don't remember.
I think they did kill his pig.
Yeah. So like
I think they ate the motherfucker.
So they had to walk that line where it's like, okay, we're not doing John Wick here. So, like, what can we have him do? So he's just kind of like, what, super rich?
Yeah,
or was super rich?
No, he's got this income from his truffles, so he's like out in the woods and living on his own because his recipe's out everywhere. So, as far as I know, so he's got his pig, so he can just.
But everyone knows him. Everyone knows him.
Well, I think he sells the truffles.
The dude's taking him to all these places, and like he was like a famous chef.
Yeah.
Like everyone knew him, and then he just went off the deep end or whatever.
Yeah, just
I
got
don't
away
remember
from
how
everybody.
it ends. How does it end? Does he kill people in that?
I can't remember.
I don't think he kills anyone. I think he gets his pig back. I really think he gets his pig back.
I'm gonna have to watch it now.
Why would they want to steal his truffle finding pig if they were just gonna kill it?
Because that pig gets the good truffles.
Right. So I don't think they kill it and eat it.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I thought they did.
I know it
should have.
It
would have been a good ending.
It is. It is a good movie, but I did think that I was getting a revenge flick from it. Didn't quite get that.
Yeah. Sometimes you jump into a movie getting not what you're expecting, and it works out great. But there's times it gets ruined too.
Well, we're at the end of the podcast.
Cool.
Any last thoughts? Any last words?
No, I feel like I'm going to the chair. Any last words?
Last meal request? Yeah. Well, thanks for coming over and podcasting.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could go all day with horror movies.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to do another
I'll try
one.
to keep it around an hour. Absolutely. There's some good horror movies coming up. Renfield this week. Evil Dead next week.
Oh, I can't wait for Evil Dead.
So
have you seen the previews for that one?
Of course I have.
That looks so balls out.
So, yeah. Well, are you gonna go see it? Do you go see movies? You got kids.
I've got a 19-month-old, so we don't really go to the movies right now. But
I was gonna invite you along.
Well, I'm sure I could probably find when does it come out?
Next week. So
week.
But we'll probably be going like at this time.
Gotcha.
Like the 3-4 o'clock showing right after work.
I'm sure I could probably find a sitter or something, but
well, I'll look at the show times. Yeah. I'll let you know what we figure out, and I'll invite you if you can make it.
Definitely,
great.
that'd be
awesome.
awesome.
Then sucks to be you.
That'd be awesome. Right on. I'll watch it eventually.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, and I'm Matt Bonta.
Kenny Osgood.
Take it easy.